All right, welcome back everybody to the Rattle Cage breakdown. I'm Ryan, as always with Sterling. Uh, we were looking forward to this week. No gimmicks, no road courses, no super speedway, just flat 400 miles of you know NASCAR racing. But then we get this doozy of a slate.
Yeah, this entire this entire weekend has been just kind of blah when you look at the starting lineups. Been a bunch
Oh
of PD
man.
plays.
Yeah. I feel like the truck was like, okay, and like I didn't, it was, and then like Xfinity was like, oh man, this is the same exact as the trucks. And then they go out and qualify today, and Michael McDowell's on the pole. And yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just, it's literally the same slate as the trucks in Xfinity, basic.
yeah. There's like two guys inside the top 10 that I really have any interest in playing.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
make an argument for a couple other ones. There's two guys that actually showed speed. The other guys, I feel like, are gonna be battling for like 15th to 20th.
Yeah.
Like it's an
Yeah.
ugly starting lineup.
Yes, it is. So we will go over that. Before we do, um, I will say I'll do my weekly plug here. One of us will post a comment after this video of a link to our Discord. Our Discord is fantastic. It does come with this sheet here that Sterling prepared. Everything we will go over today will be in the Discord. So if you want to take a look at it yourself, it is free. We have a lot of GPP winners in there. I mean, it's a great NASCAR minded community, DFS minded community. Um, Ben shipped it there. What Friday night in the trucks?
Did he?
Yeah, yeah,
I actually forgot about that. Brad
yeah.
shipped it last
Or
night in
Brad,
Xfinity.
Brad, Brad. Yeah,
I was gonna say I thought Ben was a couple weeks ago.
yeah. Brad. Yeah. There's too many Ben or B's. I mean,
Bees.
yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
B
somebody
boys is
wants.
gonna throw a fit when he hears about these bees.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, so one of them shipped a truck race because they fell asleep. Remember, they went to bed mad and woke up $8,000 richer. I think that was Brad, wasn't it?
That was Brad with Xfinity last night. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we got a lot of GPP winners in there, and they're just shooting the shit. I mean, up till green flag, we will be talking strategy and everything in there. So if you want to jump in, jump in. We will post a link to the Discord after the video, but we'll go ahead and jump into this. So this page here is next gen finishes at Vegas. So this is the average. I do have it sorted out by the best average finish. Surprisingly, I mean, I did kind of think of Ross Chastain when we come here, but Ross Chastain takes the cake here with a 5.5 average finish. Worst finish of 12th. Doesn't have the win yet, but I mean, he's finished second once, and like everything is a top five other than two starts. And then you got William Byron, and I believe that 13th place is that when he had the trash bag.
Oh man. I can't.
Remember
I,
that?
I
Like
know.
he,
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember when that was. That
I can't,
was
I
a
can't either.
disgusting day. I would say that probably was that.
Yeah, and then Kyle Larson, basically, this has been his playground, even at Chip Ganassi Racing. I mean, he was winning in Vegas.
Yeah, any of these tracks that you get up against the wall, you're gonna see Larson dominate.
Yep. And then Kyle Busch, hometown track. Joey Logano rounds out the top five there. Reddick, a sixth. I mean, if it wasn't for that 35th, he'd probably be in the top five. Hamlin, Bowman, anybody else really stick out? Suarez was a guy that kind of really stuck out other than that 37th place finish. That kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just honestly not a big Suarez fan.
Oh, I'm not either, but I'm just saying, like, if there was a track for Suarez, I mean, this is one that for some odd reason he always seemed to run well at, other than that 37th place finish. But um, I kind of forget where exactly. No, he qualified 23rd. So, but yeah, so that's a nice sheet to look at there. Here is the uh off of there. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna assume, Sterling, that this is average running position. It just says average position.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is average running position. Once again, we're seeing William Byron, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, uh, Christopher Bell down there a little bit. Reddick's down there a little bit. There's Suarez again. I'm just kind of just looking at this, uh, seeing if there's anything that really jumps out at me. Yeah. Yeah, basically the same names, just like last week. It's just, last week we had the killer bees. This week it's like we got Chastain, Byron, Larson, and it's gonna look like Denny Hamlin, I think. So here's the Vegas next gen quality passes. Uh
I think this week this is one that's gonna really be the one you want to look at with where these guys are starting. Quite a bit of guys starting mid pack or further back. So
yeah, that's a great point. That's a great
like
point. So Denny Hamlin with an average of 64 passes. Joey, Byron, Bush, Reddick, Chastain, Bowman. So that's a good one to look at. Obviously, these guys know how to pass. Here is the fastest laps. So this is how many fast laps they had in each race. So it looks like Larson, Bell, Byron again. Chastain, Bowman, Reddick. Huh. Okay. Basically the same names again. Here is percent in the top 15. So this is the percentage of laps that they've ran inside the top 15. Logano, Byron, Larson, Reddick, Hamlin, Bowman, Bell, Chastain, same names again. Here is laps led. So you're once again looking at Larson, Bell, Byron, Chastain. There's Suarez again. Like I said, Suarez for some reason does always seem to run good here. And here is the driver rating. Larson, Byron, Chastain, Bowman, Hamlin, Bell, Logano. I think. Oh, here's one thing to look at: the past optimals. So we got last year 402 points, 380 points, 377, 400, 400, 4. So is there anything with these optimals that really stick out to you, Sterling? This is the first time seeing them, so I'm just kind of looking at them myself.
I'm gonna let me get it pulled up on my screen here. If you go down to the bottom left there, it shows you how many speedsters was in
Oh yeah,
each lineup. So like there's three of these lineups had two speedsters in them. Two of them had three speedsters. So basically, I feel like you're going to be looking for 2 to 3 dominators in this. And the thing that stuck out the most to me though was just you're seeing like one guy dominate quite a bit of these races here. Like
yeah,
Christopher Bell had 71 speedster points in the October race. Kyle Larson had 64 in the March race, and then Larson had 63 again in the Vegas October race. So you're seeing one guy get like 50, 60, 70 speedster points in each race.
yeah. Yeah, that is one thing to note. So it looks like you're shooting for about 400 points, so that would be about 8 times value basically. So what you want your lineup to score. Looks like
Yeah,
everybody's using
yeah,
about the whole salary. There's a 148,000. There's
yeah,
a complete 50 on that one.
yeah. The average total points is 396, and the average total salary is 49,400. So
Yep. So here is by position. Um the number of laps led by the starting position and the number of fast laps from the starting position. So
which
uh
I think that's kind of shitty, but with this starting lineup, I think this chart is actually kind of irrelevant.
yes, that's what I was just gonna say. I don't think this is going to be true for tomorrow, but it is cool to look at for past trends. And then this is the number of laps led by where they finished and the number of fast laps from where they finished. So that's kind of an interesting chart. Here is team history.
I
This
think
has
this
been
is a pretty big chart to actually look at.
yes, this has been Hendrick Motorsports playground basically. So as you can see, definitely most laps led, most wins, most top fives. JGR does have him beat in top tens, but this has been Hendrick Motorsports between what even Bowman won here. Bowman, Byron, Larson.
Yeah, I don't know. You just like I said, you typically see one guy pretty much dominate in this next gen car at Vegas. So you got Hendrick winning four of them. Bowman won the first one. Larson's won two. Byron's won one.
Yeah. And Penske, Joey Logano won both of them, I believe.
Yeah, he won the October race,
That's
and
right.
both of them were in October of 2022 and 2024. So
Yeah. All right. So now the fun part, the driver by driver breakdown. Um, so there is 267 laps here, Sterling, like you kind of said, like we were kind of talking. The slate's kind of messed up with the top part of it. So it's like, like you said, maybe you're finding one guy in the top 10 that you like, or two guys in the top 10 that you like. But other than that, it's just kind of unfortunately gonna have to be pick your poison between one of these dominators, and you're gonna hope that they kind of take off, I guess.
yeah, I don't. You mean
It's
like a
tough.
guy starting up front? Like you're trying to
Well, I
find?
mean, it's no. I mean, like the guy starting in the teens, like like you're gonna have to try to navigate. Like, do you think it'll be Larson? Do you think it'll be Reddick? Do you think Byron will play like the all guy role today? Like, Hamlin even didn't look half bad. And then unfortunately, we do have the free spot of Ryan Blaney. I feel like he's gonna be the absolute chalk.
I think you fade him.
Yeah. He didn't look good in practice, and Joey didn't look good in practice until qualifying. I don't know how,
Yeah, and it just it's not really the type of track you see Penske be fast at. Obviously, he's starting 36, and it's really easy for him to hit value. I just what's its price? 9,300. I think you
yeah,
need a top 10. Like at minimum, you need the top 10. Probably more like a
right.
top five, and I don't see it. I'd
Yeah,
much rather find the money for Reddick or one of them higher price guys.
yeah.
Maybe even play Elliott over Blaney. I'm probably not playing hardly any Blaney. I'll have some, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, so Blaney to hit 5 times value. Now, like we were saying, it almost seems like you want 8 times value, but 5 times value, you'd have to finish 16th. So
16th is definitely doable, but I
I
just
don't.
I don't think it's
eh,
gonna be enough.
Now I'm curious to see like what his top 10 odds will be when they drop.
I can look at
But
that MGM real quick. They have them up.
do they have a top 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, since we gave kind of a it was just a weird practice in qualifying in general, I think. I mean, the Spire cars look good, but didn't qualify good outside of McDowell, but
Minus 220 is what Bet MGM has for
oh
Blaney.
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. But I have noticed Bet MGM's odds are pretty weird. Like,
Yeah, that makes me want to play Blaney, but like I'm absolutely with your thinking. It's like if you're gonna play Blaney, you're taking away a dominate.
yeah, because no way does he lead laps. Like, it's gonna take
No,
an absolute perfect storm for him to lead laps and get fastest laps. Like, he needs
yeah,
the perfect time caution or something for him to end up front. I don't think he does enough, and I think he
yeah,
is going to possibly be the highest owned player. So I honestly think he's just a straight up fade for me.
yeah,
I'll
yeah. And
probably have like 10, maybe 15%, but the gut
I
rule,
think I'd rather spend another $400 and play Hamlin, like you said, save 300 and play Elliott. I think that's
yeah,
definitely in play, but I mean, enough talking about the general. Let's just go around, so first off, we got Christopher Bell starting 13th, 10-7. I do have for 5 times value, you'd have to finish second with a half of a dominator point to hit 5 times value. So
and
Christopher Bell's starting in the back now. We do have to remember
yes,
that. So it's hard for that.
I kind of like that honestly because he's coming off those 3 straight wins. Everyone's pumped to play him really. And I think this is gonna scare people a little bit, so it makes me want to be a little more heavy on him.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
I
It's
don't I don't think there's really any reason to be too scared of playing him. Like he's not gonna be up there stage one. If he was starting 13th, he could be.
yeah,
But I think stage two, he's back inside the top 10 to start it.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, he can accumulate fast laps moving up through the field. I mean, obviously, the farther back, the dirtier the air is. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I mean, if he can rack off a few fast laps and as he moves up through the field, I definitely don't hate it. I mean, you don't know either. I mean, they could gamble on strategy or something to get up there. So, I mean, his ownership should take a hit. I do agree with you there, and I think that will open up opportunities for us to out shift the field. So, but yeah, that's Christopher Bell. Yeah, I think we're definitely in on him. He definitely has the dominator potential. I think still starting in the back, like Sterling said, that's not a bad play, and especially if you can leverage the field. So next up, Kyle Larson starting 10th, 10-5. Same or no, he's different. He has to finish second with 2.5 dominator points. What do you think about Larson, Sterling?
It's hard to not love him at a track like
Yeah.
Vegas. Like I mean, Vegas, Kansas, Michigan used to be Auto Club that I would
Yep.
play him at all those tracks. I miss Auto Club. I never thought I'd say that.
I know. I know. I know. That's what It is a shame. I heard it on the Dale Jr. download this week or whatever, him talking about Auto Club, and he doesn't even know if they're gonna even make a track out there anymore. So,
It's not looking like that.
now speaking of that, did you listen to the Carl Edwards?
I didn't listen to it, but I did see that clip of it.
Oh man, that was probably one of the better ones. I mean, kudos to Dale Jr. download. I mean, it's he's been like hitting home runs this year
Yeah, I'm actually
with his
surprised
guests.
he published that. Like, actually put that out there.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great episode. Definitely took me back because I mean I kind of forgot about the caution and everything like that. And Carl Edwards really gives his take and he's really candid about it. So definitely a great listen. Anybody that hasn't listened, uh, it was probably one of my favorites, honestly. So, but not to get too far off track, but yeah, Kyle Larson, this is playground. This is his. Yeah, I mean, this is bread and butter. Yeah, like you said, it's hard not to like Kyle Larson. So next up, Tyler Reddick starting 14th. To hit 5 times value, you'd have to finish third. What do we think about Tyler Reddick?
He's another one of them guys that when you think about a wall riding track, you think Tyler Reddick. And
Yep.
I want to say he was like third or fourth quickest in practice here. I'm trying to pull it up. I got so much shit on this computer right now.
I hear you. I'm trying to look through it also. Tyler Reddick, fifth fastest in practice. Looks like.
Yeah, I have him as the fourth average. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. I see that average length. Yep. Okay. So yeah, definitely capable of getting up there.
yeah, and I think one thing about Reddick is I've said it all week in the Discord that I look at Kansas just as much as I look at Vegas when I'm building for this week. And 2311 was like dominant at Kansas when they first started on this next gen car. Kurt Busch had to win there, Bubba had to win there, Reddick had to win there. Gibbs ran well there when he was in the 2311 car. So they know how to get around these 1.5s, and I think Reddick could actually kind of be a little bit lower owned with Larson
Yeah.
and Bell right there.
Yep. Yep.
He might be a
I'm kind
little higher now with Bell going to the back, but
That's what I was just gonna say. I bet some of that ownership switches over to Reddick now that Bell's going to the back, but there's still, I think, two more guys. It's just, I mean, William Byron, the next guy starting eighth. I think he has just as good of a chance to win and dominate this race as any of them. I mean, he's ran good here at Vegas. He had that trash bag issue. He was probably the fastest car that week that he had the trash bag
yeah,
issue,
by far.
and he's won here in the past, and he's one of them that 24 team definitely unloads with speed at times, and it's. I think he was fastest in practice, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't he like the fastest in lap average?
Yeah, well, kinda. That's if you take out or if you look at all the practice laps in general, he had the fastest average. But when you take it down to the best 10 laps for each driver, Chastain actually had the best average. So,
Okay, yeah, but I think Byron was he up there?
oh, yeah, he was
Yeah.
definitely like top two. So,
Okay. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Byron's definitely one of. I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a lot of mix and matching. Probably gonna want two of. I don't know if you want to just ride or die with two of them, but
that's
it's probably gonna be a lot of mixing and matching for me.
yeah, that's my approach is going to be just mix and match these guys, but I'm also running like 200 lineups, the mini max, both 20 maxes. So
Yep. Yep. Next up we got Denny Hamlin. Um, Came out of nowhere in Phoenix. Were you watching that last week? It was like that last pit stop. He gained like 9 positions. Like everybody took 4 tires, and somehow he like gained like 8 positions or 9 positions and came out in second, and like he just stayed in second.
Yeah, it seems like JGR always has one pit crew that is leaps and bounds better than everyone else, and they pull it off right at the end of the race too. It's I don't know, weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get gaining like 3, 4 positions, but like it was, I want to say it was like 8. He like came out of nowhere, but he didn't practice good from what I'm seeing, Sterling. I don't know if you're seeing anything on your end. Definitely didn't look like he practiced good, but I mean, he's one of them guys I don't think practice ever really means much with Denny Hamlin.
No, I would say I have him right around where he qualified actually, and I I could see him getting there at the end or beginning of stage three, like stage one, stage two. I feel like he's probably just kind of working on the car, figuring it out, and then stage three they might have something to show for it. But if you're playing Denny Hamlin, I think you're playing him as like a second or third dominator.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I like Hamlin this week. I think he's going to be one of the lower owned probably out of all 5 of these. But I'm kind of with you. I'm probably running lineups with 2 of these guys. I mean, I don't know if you can shove 3 in. I mean, if you can shove 3,
You can, but it's ugly. I was playing
it's
around with that earlier, trying to build a main.
yeah, it's gonna get ugly. But I mean, even like a Hamlin, Byron, Reddick, wondering how that would look. Like if you
I didn't
use the
try that.
yeah, if you use the 3 lower guys, I mean, maybe. I mean, if you use Bell, Larson,
From what
and
I was playing around with earlier, I think it's going to be two 10K guys and one guy in that low to mid 8K range.
okay,
And then you're going to live down low. Like, you're going to find out that I'm very high on Raleigh Herps this week again. So,
yeah. Uh so next up we got Joey Logano starting second. This got an awful practice. I mean, they kept talking about him, and then somehow it seemed like the track was getting faster as qualifying was going. I mean, I know they
that's
were
what,
talking
yeah, that's what a
that
lot of the
that's
drivers were saying, is
yeah.
it was wide open.
Yep,
So,
yep, and it just seemed like as the guys went, it just seemed like it was getting more and more wide open. So I don't know if Joey Logano was just a product of that, but I don't think I'm doing it this.
no, that's, if he bites me, he bites me, but
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I
No
I could
option tire this week, so he's fucked.
I could see him getting the lead early and leading
I
20, 30
that's
laps, but I think these guys that are starting, these 9, I like Denny Hamlin up, I think they're gonna catch him. I mean,
yeah,
William Byron's probably gonna take the lead at some
I feel
point.
like Byron is the most likely to lead that first stage.
Yep,
I would agree that I think Logano probably takes it from the get go, but I
yep,
think Byron ends up chasing him down.
I absolutely agree. Next up, Ryan Blaney, like you said. Um, actually, I've been forgetting to do the so Hamlin to get 5 times value would have to finish 5th. That's why I was kind of like, huh, that's not terrible. I mean, you could definitely see him finish in top 5. Joey Logano would have to win plus 1.5 Dominator points. And next up, we got Ryan Blaney starting 36th. He has to finish 16th to get 5 times value. So, Sterling, you already kind of said this could be a good strategy. I think Blaney comes in at, I don't know, 50, 60% owned. I wouldn't be surprised.
I've seen him projected right at like 55, 60. I can't remember what it was. It was damn close to 60, so and I don't think he comes in quite that. I think it's probably more like 45 to 55. But
Yeah.
like I said, I plan to be light, if not a full fade, like 10 to 15% at the most for me. But I think the right play is just fade
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. I mean, like we talked about, if you play Blaney, you're taking away a dominator. So I'd rather play a dominator, I think. So
And I feel like the absolute least that we see him owned is like 40%.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'd rather just not have him.
And
But
Blaney's car wasn't good in practice, so I don't see any fast laps from him. Where like Christopher Bell, you could see Christopher Bell maybe knocking off a few fast laps, maybe getting clean air coming through the field a little bit, but I just don't see that out of Blaney. So I don't see it. I think he caps out at like a 12, maybe a 10th, maybe he does crack the top 10, but
yeah,
it's just, is that enough?
I don't think like he had two top tens at Kansas in the six races and two top tens at Vegas in the six races. And other than that, it's been like 15th on back. I think that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. You gotta make bold stands, and that's a bold one, and I can't argue with you. So next up, we got Chase Elliott starting 16th. Hit 5 times value. You'd have to finish 7th.
I don't know how I feel about Chase Elliott just yet. He didn't show anything in practice really. He might be like an 8th to 10th place car, which is really weird to say about Chase Elliott. But I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird how he has been the last year and a half or so. He has not been
Yeah.
himself, and I
Yeah.
don't think we see that changing this week.
I don't either. I mean, if Chase Elliott, like you always say, if he burns us, he burns us. But like, I'm kind of with you. I just don't see the speed out of them guys yet. Like I just don't think he can go up there and compete with the Bells, Larsons, Reddicks,
I'd
Byrons, and Hamlins.
Yeah, I'd much rather try to find 700 to play Hamlin. I think they're
Yep.
about the same play. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Starting same row pretty much. So yeah, Hamlin's got the bigger upside. So next up, we got Kyle Busch starting 4th. To hit 5 times value, you got to finish 2nd. I mean, listen, Kyle Busch could come out here and win his hometown track. I just I can't do it.
now he's a guy that actually terrifies me because this just has the same feel as Coda, where I was like, there's
Yep.
no way. Like he's got to do so much to be way better guys right now. And he
Yeah.
ended up coming out and doing it at Coda. He didn't
Yeah.
win, but you needed him to win any money. And this kind of feels like that. Like,
Honestly, I thought the same thing because look at who started in front of him. Cindric.
yes,
I mean, Joey Logano and
McDowell, and I think
McDowell, and it's
is
like,
it Cindric inside of him? Who's starting third?
yeah,
Yeah, right
Cindric.
there, Cindric.
Yep. So could Kyle Busch come out at lap 10 and be leading this thing? It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
It might not even take that long. Like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
what's the first stage? 60 laps.
Yeah, that you'll have to look up. I know it's
80 laps.
260. Okay, 80 laps. Okay.
So if he can lead 60 of those, finish top 10, it's like I think it's a guy you leave in your player pool because I don't think you have to play very much of him to be over the field.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those pivot guys. This is, I mean, just a dart throw, GPP. He could bust a slate, but I mean, he's going to be low owned. So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he scares the shit out of me. If I play him, I know he's going to drop to the back, but if I don't play him, it's going to turn into Coda. So,
Yeah.
but next up, we got Chase Briscoe starting 24th. He has to finish 12th to hit 5 times value. I didn't really hear much about him in practice. I'm looking up his practice right now.
He was not good in practice. He was like
No, he was not.
maybe a 20th place car. Really, I have him sitting at like 24th, so right around where he qualified. But obviously, he's way better than what he qualified.
Yeah.
Trying to pull up the Vegas averages here.
Average finishes.
No, yeah. See, like he's been kind of terrible at Vegas. Honestly, his best finish is fourth in October 2022. Outside of that, his best finish was 21st last March.
Oh, right
I
there. Okay.
like. I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of people actually do look at track history, so I think maybe they see that, and he comes in a lot lower owned than he should. But you got to stop and remember that this is a Joe Gibbs racing car. Like clearly one of the best cars in the series. So like
Yep.
he has
Yep.
potential to be a top five every time he's out there. And he's another one of those dirt track guys that can get up against the wall. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think for that reason, I think he's gotta be in your player pool. I think a lot of people are gonna go to our next guy. So
yeah,
I think the guys around him, the Bowmans, the Briscoes, the Bushes, I think are gonna go even the Bubbas, uh, they're all begin with a B, but, I think a lot of people are gonna go to them, so I think a lot of people are gonna go to Chastain and leave, you know,
I do too.
a
It's
lot of ownership on the table for the Bush, Briscoe, and Bowman.
yeah, I think Bush, Bowman, and Briscoe are all going to be pretty low owned actually.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm with you. I'm interested in Briscoe. I think he's gonna be in my player pool. I mean, I'm not gonna be crazy about him, but yeah. But next up, we talked about him. Ross Chastain, fastest in practice, one of the best cars at Vegas. We said this about was it Phoenix or Coda, and he kind of burned us. But
Yeah,
I think I'm
kind of
going.
different though.
Yeah, I'm going right back to the well. I'm he's probably gonna be one of my
Yeah, he's definitely going to be one of my
highest
one of the
mid
guys
tier.
I prioritize actually. But like I said,
Yeah.
I'm looking probably two of them guys in the 10K range, and then right here I'm looking at another guy. It's going to be Briscoe,
Yep.
Chastain, maybe Bush, maybe Bowman. Obviously, you don't want to play Bush and Bowman together. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to make that a rule, but if you're using an optimizer, I'd probably do it just to be safe. But then you got Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs. You could even argue Brad K, Chris Buescher. Like right here, I'm looking at another 1 to 2 guys in every lineup. So
Yeah.
Chastain being yeah first or second in that range for me.
Okay. Bowman, is he in your okay? So Ross Chastain just has to finish 10th to hit 5 times value. That's why he's probably a big one in mine. It's just, I mean, fastest in practice. He's got probably top 5 car in him easily. I mean, I realize
I think a top 10 is like
very
very
doable.
likely. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's why he's definitely green. Alex Bowman has to finish 5th. So that's gonna be tough, I think, for Bowman to get 5 times value. But what do you think, Sterling?
He was roughly a top 5 car in practice, so I think he can definitely do it. He has one here. I think it was the first Vegas
Yep.
race in the next gen car that he won. So, and I mean, it's supposed to be cold, and Bowman's the guy you think of when you
Yeah.
think cold weather. So
Yep.
he could be the guy that gets out there and leads early. Like that first stage, it's gonna be weird because you
It is.
might not need the leader of that stage, but at the time you're really gonna feel like you do. So
Yeah, you're gonna be tilting the entire first stage because I don't think I'm
pull a
gonna
fucking Brad, go to sleep, and wake up $8,000 richer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I have no idea who's gonna be leading at lap 50. I mean, it could be anybody at the top. I mean, Byron can get up there. Legato could take off with it. Bush, Bowman. I mean, maybe McDowell holds on. I mean, I don't know, but yeah.
I'm honestly just playing it as like a 2 stage race. The
Yeah.
second stage and the third stage. I'm just gonna
Yep.
basically let the first stage just work itself out. Let these PD guys get up front, and then from there it's going to be a new race, really.
And honestly, it's worked well in both the Xfinity and the Truck Series so far. Now, I mean, granted, there's not as much Dom points to go around, but still, I mean, Corey Heim got up there, and Allgaier and Almirola didn't take them long to get up there. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, history repeats itself. So, next up, we got Bubba Wallace. Starting in 20th, he has to finish 12th to hit 5 times value. He was another guy that was fast in practice.
And like I said earlier, I look a lot at Kansas when looking at Vegas. Bubba's a guy that's good at Kansas. 2311 is good at Kansas. I think that carries over to this race, and I just I think he's like an 8th to 12th place car. He could maybe do a little bit better than that. I
Uh,
don't expect anything crazy, but like an 8th place finish is plenty at that price. So
yeah, yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I feel the same way. Seeing 2311 just dominate Kansas definitely makes all 2311 guys in play for Vegas. But next up, Ty Gibbs. What? What the hell are we got to do with Ty? Ty Gibbs always gives us like these perfect layups, and then Shaquille O'Neal comes out of nowhere and just swats it out. But I don't.
hopefully he learns something from this sprint car race he's in right now and does a little better. Because I'm probably gonna have a whole fuck ton of Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, he has to finish 21st, which out of Ty Gibbs and a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota at Vegas, what is just like
The
hold the gap,
21st, it should
hold the
be,
gap. It
yeah, it
should be
should be
easy.
guaranteed. Like
Should be easy,
a
but
15th should be like guaranteed for him. But
yeah, it should
obviously,
be.
we can't sit here and say it is going to be. But
Yeah,
I, what was he like in practice?
terrible from what I remember, but let me look.
I think you're right.
I
Yeah, he
mean,
was about 23rd.
yeah.
He
So
picked up speed towards the end, but there
yeah,
wasn't very many people running at that time to really compare to. So
I'm right with you, Sterling. I'm gonna have a ton of Ty Gibbs. I mean, I just don't know how I feel about it, but it's just yeah, he's gonna burn me again. But I think
I'm gonna,
you have to.
yeah, you do, but I kind of feel like he's the same play as Blaney almost. Like feels like you have to play him. So maybe I fade him too. But
Yeah, but I mean, at least Ty Gibbs is only
yeah,
7,700.
he's a hell of a lot cheaper. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
I
I
get I get what you're saying with the Blaney thing, but Blaney, like, you're taking away from a dom. I don't think there's really any doms down here. Yeah, it might not. Although, I mean, I'd rather play Ross Chastain. I mean, he could arguably be a dom, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think in like the 15, if you're throwing just a single dart, you start off with not playing Blaney and Gibbs.
Yeah, yeah. Next up, Brad Keselowski. Starting 27th, has to finish 16th at 5 times value. How did he look in practice? I think he was one just like he normally practiced. I don't think there's anything.
No, he showed decent speed at times, but he was also in Group A, so kind of hard to really compare. But if you look at his individual laps, like his best 10 laps, he was like a 20th place car. So
Yeah, it's just hard because they never practice good.
no, but I mean, he's
How
kind
ha-
of on his way out at this point. Like
he
he's
is.
still putting together finishes, but I just don't see him being like a top 10 driver. Not this week.
If you look at his past Vegas results, 36th, 13th, 4th. He did have a 4th, but 17th, 17th, 24th. Nothing
So
there.
let's say yeah, the ceiling of 15th. That's like
Yeah,
38 points.
Yeah, 16th is his 5 times value. He needs 37.5 points to hit 5 times value. 16th gets him there. So, do you think he finishes I mean, 16th is probably his ceiling is what I'm getting
That's
like,
kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
god! Holy fuck! Ty Gibbs just took a tumble.
Oh,
I think that's Ty Gibbs. I can't really tell. It's pretty smashed up, but
oh man, hopefully he's all right.
he's climbing out whoever it is, so he's good.
Little short guy.
Can't tell, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Ty Gibbs, and he just fucking crinkled that thing.
Oh man. Ah, damn. I mean, it's cool to see him run dirt though.
Yeah, he actually impressed me. Like he
Yeah,
did well up until
yeah.
now.
Hopefully that gives him. I mean, obviously he just took a tumble, but hopefully that gives him a little bit of momentum. Hopefully it unlocks the Christopher Bell.
Maybe he got the wreck out of the way.
Yeah. I hope. Next up we got Chris Busher. 7,400, starting 11th. He has to finish ninth. Go through here. He's got one top 10 at Vegas ever, and it was a 10th place finish. His practice is, of course, an RFK practice where it's right around there.
Yeah, he looked slightly better if you just look at his best 10 laps. Overall, he had a couple quicker laps in practice, but he's a guy I'm definitely going to have some of. I'm leaving him in the player pool for sure. Like, this kind of makes me think of Homestead, where you get up against the wall, and we seen him. Did he win Homestead a couple years ago, or I know he
Hmm.
dominated quite a bit of that one race, but
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yeah.
if he
I
held on
can't
to it
remember
or
either.
not. But
I can't remember.
I I think he could be like a sneaky second to third dominator. I'm not saying he does that, but I think you keep him in play as such.
Okay. I like it. Next up we got Austin.
Yeah,
Austin Cindric.
I just want to say that definitely was Ty Gibbs. So.
Okay. Everything good. He walked out of
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
he crawled out right away.
all right. Well, that's good. He did make the main, didn't he? The
Oh
feature.
yeah, straight from
Yeah.
the heat too. 38 cars, which not a lot of cars, more than NASCAR, yes, but
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. Good for him. Hopefully we see him at more.
he seriously impressed me Thursday night in his qualifying lap. He was only like 6 tenths off the pole, but and like you could tell he was using a lot of brakes, so like he could have easily taken 4 tenths, maybe half a second off the time. But
Hmm.
anyways, back to NASCAR.
Yeah, it's all good. Next up, we got Austin Cindric starting third. Has to finish fifth. I'm not
I
in on him. I didn't
No
know if you
way.
saw anything.
No, he's the type of guy that he's gonna go out and lead fucking half this race because I'm sitting here like there's absolutely no way. Like
Yeah.
Austin Cindric is a shitty play. So
Yep. Uh, so next up, we got Daniel Suarez starting 23rd. He has to finish 15th. I mean, we saw he runs good at Vegas, but I don't think I'm in. I mean, Daniel Suarez to me I just feel like he's got, unless you see something out of his practice. I actually didn't look at his practice yet, but like I just think he's got 1 foot out of that seat.
yeah, I don't have a
Nothing
lot
in
of
practice.
interest in him.
I don't either.
I'd much rather play the two guys directly below him, especially the guy directly below him.
Yep. Yep. I was thinking the same thing. Carson Hocevar starting 25th. He has to finish 16th. I'm kind of curious to see what his top 10 odds are because I would probably bet it if it's like plus money.
I think they
Um,
were pretty low actually. I'd have to double check, but it's tough to really judge his practice because he was in Group A. all the faster cars were in Group B, but he was like arguably a top 5, top 3
Yes.
speed wise. So, and we know he's going to be aggressive. We know honestly, he just does well everywhere, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Like
Does.
I used to be like a hardcore Carson Hocevar hater just because I hated the fact that he tried to put on a show. Like he was the hat guy. He wanted to be known as the hat guy. And that fucking drove me nuts. But he did away with that, so kind of starting to like him a little bit more because he actually has a lot of fucking talent. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Kosovar will be my play down here. In this range, I think from probably 75 to 7, I think Kosovar will be the guy that I click, but I think he'll be probably the guy everybody clicks, but
yeah,
definitely my favorite click.
I agree.
So next up, we got the hometown kid, another hometown kid, Noah Gregson. He, if I memory serves me right, he always runs 18th, 6th, 30th, and 11th. I was gonna say I thought he ran Vegas pretty good. Like, that's not terrible. I mean, you gotta think that's what, Stuart Haas 1 year,
I was just gonna say you got to stop and think about what
Legacy.
it was in though.
Yeah, Legacy a year. So starting 21st, he has to finish 14th. I think that's a steep ask, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. So I think he's gonna be in my player pool, but I'm not prioritizing him at all. But
I think you absolutely keep him in play, especially being hometown.
yes.
We know he always pushes harder here. This could be one that I don't know. I have one of those weird feelings that he's going to be running top 5, top 10.
I could
Like
see it.
there's nothing for nothing to back that up. Like no reason for me to think that other than just a gut feeling I have that Gregson is going to go out there and actually be competitive.
I
I,
mean, like I said, I mean, running 6th, running, I mean, 11th, and like I said, that 6th, I think that would have been Legacy. I think that would have been a Legacy. Or no, that was 2024. So that would have been the Stuart Haas. Then the 11th, I think, would have been a Legacy car.
yeah,
So, yeah, I definitely, I like it. I mean, I think that's a great pivot off of Hocevar. Obviously, Hocevar will probably be the one that's high owned out of the two, but I think if you wanted to pivot, I think Noah Gregson could be a great pivot.
yeah. That's if you're building with an optimizer. I think you make a group of Suarez, Hocevar, Gregson, set that at 0 to 1, and you could set like a limit to allow some of two of those guys because I could actually see Hocevar and Gregson being optimal together
Yeah, yeah,
at a very minimum percent. So Austin Dillon, I just have no interest in.
yeah. I don't either. We don't even have to spend time talking about him. Uh, man, Josh Berry. Kudos. I mean, kudos to the Wood brothers. Kudos to Josh Berry. Um, has to finish 8th to get 5 times value. I don't think I could do it, but he's been proving me wrong every week.
I I don't think he does it. It's just not really a Josh Berry track.
No,
Not really a Ford or Woods brother track either. So
no,
I
no.
really think Barry's ceiling is like 12th.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, kudos to these guys. I mean, it seems like they've got something figured out. I mean, maybe that Harrison Burt money they earn maybe is, I don't know. I mean, they definitely been outrunning their equipment, from last year. So I don't know if it's Josh Berry. I don't know if it's the Wood brothers. I don't know if it's I don't know. Whatever. Kudos to them guys. I mean, it's great for them, bad for DFS. So, next up we got AJ Allmendinger. This one's an interesting one because he has like a string. they said on the broadcast like his last 3.5 mile tracks, he's finished top 10.
I would have to go back and look at that because I didn't hear
It's
that.
it's something like that. Like it's last 2 or 3.5 miles, he finished 10th or better. But he would have to finish 14th to get 5 times value. His practice.
Maybe that's roughly where he was in practice. About a 12th
Yeah.
place car in practice. There was some laps there towards the end of practice that he was like putting down top 3, top 4 speed, but
If
he
you
was
remember, I do remember Michigan, he was pretty good until something happened with that car. But yeah, I don't.
he was in Group A though, so it scares me a little bit to look at his practice too much.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
also did win the Xfinity race here last October, I believe. So
Okay. Is he a guy you're gonna put in your player pool? I just
he's a guy I'll keep in it, and I'd probably add him to that Hosvar Gregson group.
yeah. That's a good. I see. Yeah. Next up, another Spire car. These Spire cars look good other than qualifying, but Justin Haley starting 33rd. I feel like this is gonna be another one of the probably a big time chalk play, but I think he's the guy you got to throw in there.
Yeah, he got, once again Group A practice, but he was like a top 15 car if you look at his top 10 laps. Across all of them, he kind of struggled a little bit. It was more like a 25th ish place car, which starting 33rd at that price would still be decent. What's he need for 5X?
16th.
Ah, man, that's a reach. I feel
Or wait,
like
no, wrong. I'm sorry. 21st.
that's a little better. I feel like that's still might
That's
be right there at his ceiling. I think it might be a little bit higher actually.
Did he finish ninth one year? I feel like he or no, 8th right there. So 17th, 27th, 22nd, 8th, 14th, 17th. So he does have top 20 finishes here.
uh, and I guess that kind of is like Hendrick Light. So
Yeah, and I mean his teammate starts on the pole. I mean,
I
I
think in that price range, like he's definitely in play. It's just
yeah,
I struggle to see him really having a ceiling type performance. Like I don't know, 20th I think is his absolute best.
we say this about Justin Haley all the time when he outdoes us, Sterling.
Fuck him.
I'm just kidding. Eric Jones, we're probably painting him red, right? You're not gonna
Yeah,
talk me into playing Eric Jones starting
fuck no.
5th.
This ain't
Uh,
Darlington.
no. Ryan Priest starting 12th.
I don't.
Five times value. He has to finish 12th. So he has to finish right where he started.
He was actually in Group B practice and was absolute dog shit.
Finishes here 22nd, 23rd, 26th, 23rd. So obviously not in RFK equipment, but still I don't think I can do him.
No, that's I might leave him in, but I won't have more than like 10%. I would say I'd probably rather play him than McDowell.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna have any McDowell?
I don't think.
I'm not.
I think it would just be a waste, honestly.
Yep.
You got
Uh
to.
for,
That's one of
for
them.
what
You
it
just sit back and you're okay with not playing everybody.
Yep. For what it's worth, McDowell only has to finish 7th to get 5 times. But I think it'll be tough for McDowell to get a top 10. What do you think?
I think he struggles to get a top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I just wanted to make sure you were on the same page. SVG starting 28th, he has to finish 20th. Are you playing SVG?
I can see leaving him in, but not someone I'm gonna have a whole lot of. Not someone I don't know. I just don't see him doing too well here. He wasn't good in practice. He was
No, it
like
wasn't.
a
I just looked.
30th place car. So
Yeah. Gilly Gilly. Gilly Gilly has to finish 22nd.
he was terrible in practice as
He
well.
was. He was. I noticed that. I'm gonna go through and see if he ever had any good finishes here. Best finish is a 23rd. I don't see anything that makes me want to play Gillen. I hate to say that.
Was reading a message. I have no idea what the fuck you said there.
You're all good. His best finish at Vegas has been a 23rd. I just don't see anything that makes me want to play Gillen. And I hate
No,
and
that's
I hate to say it. Gillen
yeah.
starting 32nd, but there's nothing there that makes me want to.
We actually see a lot of people go laps down here. I'd have to pull it
Yeah.
up, but I want to say the average is like 17 on the lead lap or something.
Yeah. Here's our last week hero. This is a great call by you, Sterling. Zane Smith. He finished ninth last week, ironically. Starts ninth this week. He has to finish 11th to hit 5 times value. I don't know if. I mean, kudos to these guys. I don't know if they could do it again, but
It's a struggle to see this happening again.
yeah.
I would like to play them. I might try to play some of them just because I don't think anybody else is going to, and I am a
Yep.
Zane Smith believer, and he
Yeah.
does have that Todd Gilliland crew chief, so we could see him stay out at some point and collect some random fast slaps or lap sled. But I definitely can't have a whole lot of them. Maybe 5, maybe 10%.
Right. Ricky Stenhouse, John Hunter Nemechek. I know you said about the guy below that, but anything stick out with these two guys?
Not a whole lot of, if any, interest in John Hunter, but Ricky Stenhouse actually, he's someone I looked at a lot. Originally, I came into it thinking I wasn't gonna have any, maybe a little, but now after looking more into it, I think Stenhouse might actually be a pretty decent play. I could see him being like 20th, and at that, he's gonna score your roughly 35 points, and that's
Yeah. 20
plenty
20
at that.
22nd gets his 5 times value, which honestly looks like that's where he normally finishes. I mean, he's got a 27, 17th, 25th, 24th, 23rd, 21st. So he finishes right around there. So, let's see. Where was Stenhouse in practice? Just out of curiosity.
He was roughly a 20th place car overall. Like, if you look at all,
Yeah. Perfect. That's what we
now
want out of him.
keep in mind he was a Group A, so hard
Yeah.
to judge a whole lot. And if you do look at his top 10 best lineups, he was kind of struggling, like 25th or 30th. Had a couple there top 20, but Group A, we know it was slower, so I'm just gonna kind of play it as Ricky Stenhouse being a top 20 car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I see him being like 18th or 22nd all race.
All right, Sterling. I know you're dying to talk about this guy. Riley Herbst starting 34th.
I it's kind of shitty because like his practice was terrible. He was in Group A, so Don't know how much you want to look at it, but the big thing for me is the team. I've said it several times this show that 2311 is good at Kansas. This is identical track. So I think this is where we get to see where Riley Herbst really is going into this season. Is he going to actually be competitive, or does he still have a lot of learning to do? Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the latter. I think he still has a lot of learning to do, but at this price and that car, you got to have him.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think he is
I
the
mean,
favorite 5K play.
absolutely. Like, you got to understand it's the same car as Bubber and Reddick. So,
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Any interest in I mean, we don't have to spend any time talking about the next couple guys. Uh for what it's worth, Riley Herbst has finished 23rd to get 5 times value.
I think it's fairly likely of him.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. He could definitely get a top 20. And then going back, Custer, Ty Dillon, Cody Ware. We're not playing Cody Ware. Probably not playing Ty Dillon starting 17th.
Ty Dillon has actually been kind of shockingly consistent here, I guess.
Yeah, 24th, 34th, 33rd, and a 20th. So an
Maybe
average.
I'm thinking of Kansas then. Yeah, Kansas. He's like a 20th place car there. So
Okay, Ty Dillon has finished 17th. So he has to finish right where he starts.
I think he started or is starting too far ahead. So I probably
Yeah,
won't have a whole lot, if any. But I
yeah,
think he is a very interesting play to be different. But like, if you play him, you're really lucky if you get 20 points. So
right, right. I'll put him yellow. Custer, any interest in Custer? I don't think there's any from me, but
now, like, no, he could
yeah,
be a no. I
yeah,
was trying
yeah.
to think of
Don't do it. And Cody Ware, we're just don't play Ware. Uh, but yeah, I guess that's the driver by driver breakdown. So we I guess we pretty much have a don't have a well yeah favorite play in the 9K is probably Hamlin there. Favorite play in the 8K. Boy, this rhyming thing's a tongue twister. Ross Chastain looks like the 7Ks. Carson Hocevar, 6Ks. Justin Haley, 5Ks. Riley Herbst. Big fades are Ryan Blaney, and I know we said about Ty Dillon, or not Ty Dillon, Ty Gibbs.
Gibbs. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that
I
could be a
want to
good.
like verify that we are going to have a decent amount of Gibbs. But if you're playing like a very limited amount of lineups, I think you start
Yeah.
by not playing Blaney and Gibbs.
Yep. Yep. I definitely agree with you. I'll probably have a little bit of Gibbs, but yeah, I think that's the way to go about it.
You could
And
argue that Justin Haley is almost the same play as Ty Gibbs.
yeah, 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 I agree. And $1,200 cheaper, I think, right? 65.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yep.
but
So
I mean, basically, you're
same
looking,
ceiling.
yeah, basically, just kind of recap looking 2 to 3 speedsters. For me, the most likely is like Larson, obviously, Reddick, Byron. I see Bell coming in later since he's starting in the back. You could argue Hamlin has potential to be like secondary dom. And then really, you're looking for, I think the average salary was like 49.5, so you're spending pretty much all your salary. And it's pretty much it, man. Just play the
Yeah,
fastest cars.
yeah, that's what's nice. I mean, there's no gimmicks this week, no road courses, no super speedway, no $6,700 Dominator that comes out of nowhere and throws
And the
on.
best thing about it is we get another 1.5 mile track next week in Homestead. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
important to pay attention to this week because whatever you see this week is going to carry over to next week.
Yep, absolutely. But that's all we got, guys. So, uh, good luck. Definitely get in that Discord. We will be chatting it up until green flag. So,
Yeah, good luck and let's win some money.
let's win some money. There we go. All right, see you guys.